first so that it's on my face. Hey, look, it's my face. That's great, isn't it? Hello, everybody. This is so exciting. Theoretically, I'm all big on your screen right now, and I've got a couple of things to share with you. Now, we're going to have some people flowing in as this whole thing gets going. We're going to talk about a lot of awesome things, mostly as they relate to this cool little thing right in front of me. But first off, since this whole conversation is about music making in quarantine, I'll make a little music and show you what I've been doing in quarantine so far. How's that? This is a little instrumental song I've been working on. And just like that, I feel a little better because music is roughly speaking the best shit ever. So that's kind of the fundamental premise of the talk here. I'm so glad to see all y'all. Thanks for jumping on, spending a little time here. It's gonna be it's gonna be a fun kind of mishmash of different things. This is going to apply to really players of all levels, even if you don't play music at all. This talk is going to give you a few ideas as to why you want to do it just for yourself. So whether you're just starting or you've been playing for a long time, it's never going to get boring. So you might as well learn a little bit about it. Uh, we're going to talk about three different things today. We're going to start with what obstacles usually get in the way of music making, especially in this particular ridiculous situation. So we'll address some of those, some of the things that might be impeding your progress and your expression. We'll move into sources of inspiration, ways to make sure we're staying fresh, feeding that creative muscle and making sure we're strengthening it and giving it the things it needs. And then we're going to move on to the benefits. You know, why you'd want to be doing this. Now, I think they're mostly obvious, but I like talking about music and stuff anyway, so that's we're just going to be doing that. Yeah, so let's start with some obstacles, right? That's kind of the hardest. That's the hardest thing to approach when it comes to figuring out how to keep your music making healthy, especially in this situation. We're all cooped up, we're all kind of disoriented, we're all really starved for attention. It's great that I get to theoretically have you here. That's good for my soul, mostly my ego, but my soul too. We really need interaction with other people. When we can't have that, the first thing we do is go and play music instead, because it's kind of like interacting with other people. You're interacting with other ideas that other people have put forward. You're examining, you know, other songs, other lyrics. You're experiencing the emotions that other people have put through, even if you can't do that directly. So music is a wonderful substitute for it, but it's kind of hard when we're not feeling like we're interacting, we're having an interpersonal dynamic. It gets kind of weird when we're by ourselves, just like maybe the same way our hair gets kind of weird when we're by ourselves, and our personal hygiene changes and our diet gets strange. uh, Music, it needs to be hygienic the same way. You need to cultivate some habits. The first thing that really stops people from music making regularly, or at least enjoying it, is space. I have some space here around me, as you can see. You may have some as well, but there are different degrees and qualities of space. The largest problem, the largest thing that inhibits practice usually is not feeling comfortable in your particular environment. So a huge help is to talk with the people you're living with about your practice schedule. Now, that can be very flexible, that can be very loose. If you don't live with anybody, no problem, but do be still considerate of your neighbors if you live in an apartment, things like that. If you're a drummer, be considerate of your neighbors, even if you're in a house. But having that conversation of, hey, I'm going to practice for an hour down here. I just want you to know that. Go ahead, throw your headphones on, whatever. That just makes it easier for people. Now, you can play at odd hours. That's usually what I do. I just come down in the basement and play really, really late at night. But that's an important thing, is to set that space for yourself. If you want to practice in a closet where you feel like people can't hear you, totally fine. We don't often realize how much other people affect our experience of practicing or expressing ourselves with music. I've been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive, and it's still difficult sometimes, just to feel like you can put yourself out there. That's not you're not weak for feeling that way. It's a very normal thing. So just know that, and do what you can to find inspiration in your surroundings. Time is another problem we often encounter with music. It's not a problem right now. You have plenty of time, and that's wonderful. I'm really excited to see the progress that a lot of people are going to have made by staying in, practicing, actually, you know, not running away from their instruments. You're trapped with them, so you might as well put them to good use. Now, the time is not an issue. It usually is, but we're more than making up for that with the third obstacle, which is fear. Fear is pervasive in music making. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the process. Playing music and really enjoying it requires love. And right now, there is a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear just about literally everything. But that actually kind of contextualizes the fear of, oh, what if I play the wrong note? What if I play that? What if that sounds weird? Well, it's like, well, you know what? At least I'm still alive. Oh, and I can slide it up and it sounds good. Oh, that's nice. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Okay, and then you can start finding your way, right? Playing a wrong note on an instrument is not lethal. I'm still alive, and that's a good feeling. And then, sometimes then it turns into stuff. But it's okay. It's really, really okay to be experiencing all of that fear and knowing that you can put it down. It's a little hard, but the instruments actually allow us to put that down. And I think we could all use a little bit of that relief. I've been playing more guitar than ever during all of this, and I didn't think that was even possible. But turns out this can be a solace. It does not have to be scary. It can't hurt you. It literally can't. Play the weirdest, worst configuration of things, and you know what? That's fine. That's really fine. It feels cool as it reverberates against you. Even that is calming somehow. That's cooler, but still, it's all healthy. So don't let music scare you. The world can scare you. The world is a little scary, but music is there for you. The very last obstacle you may be encountering right now is equipment. And I don't like to belabor this point because I really do believe you can make music on just about anything, especially if you're a drummer. They can't really stop. But you always have access to your voice. I mean, even if you have literally nothing else, you can sing. Or you can, if you're not comfortable singing, just freestyle rapping under your breath, just making nonsense syllables is cathartic, I promise you. Beatboxing is another random little thing that you can do to just inject some groove into your life, and I promise it will have a centering effect. Your equipment, it's easy to look at that as a limiting factor, but if you meet your instrument with love, it will respond. Just like any person will respond to love, any instrument will do the same. So the equipment, not so much of a problem. And if you don't have anything, just order it on Amazon. What else are you doing? So, all right, that's a lot of stuff that's not fun to talk about, right? So, what's getting in the way? Why is this difficult? Well, let's talk about the inspiration, because that is the way to move through these obstacles into playing and actually enjoying oneself as you do so. The first thing is input. And that's probably the biggest thing right now. If you're struggling, if you're having difficulty experiencing, expressing yourself, really, it's probably because you're not listening to a lot of music. Right now, it's easy to think of our stagnant environments as, oh, well, nothing's changing in my life. Well, that's, that can be true, but it doesn't have to be. It's absolutely worth seeking out new music. Do all kinds. Tune your guitar. That's important. Seek out different inputs. Seek out different artists, different paintings, different cool movies that you haven't seen. It's more important than ever right now to be trying out new things and new forms of media, because we're not really leaving our environment, and we need something else to help facilitate that place, not just to entertain us, but because in order to be creative, we have to have input. So please be conscientious about that. I think the best thing you could be doing to be enjoying your playing more is listening to more music. It's always there for you. There's always more of it because the internet is wonderful that way. Take advantage of that tool. I promise it will make your own playing more enjoyable, so long as you're not comparing yourself to the people playing on the recording. There's no point in doing that. You're not being recorded, and they already recorded that cool thing that way, so you don't need to worry about replicating it. It's already taken care of. Just enjoy it. So that may seem like kind of an arbitrary statement, but arbitrary things are very important in music. Little constraints, creative freedom is only possible when you have restrictions. The guitar is a really good example. If the guitar had 9,000 strings, that would be a lot of creative options, but that you would never be able to play anything. It would be totally paralyzing. So don't do that. Don't rely on that. Instead, there is beauty in the fact that these shapes, these strings are limited. I've been playing a lot of altered tunes, and my strings have been really unhappy about that process. But they're trapped in here with me, so that's just what they're going to have to be submitting to. So picking arbitrary things as a way of breaking out of those patterns that you might be playing in, and that happens at any stage, right? Is you might get stuck playing the same thing. You might get stuck thinking, oh, I need to sound exactly like this, or I want to do exactly this thing, and I don't know how to do other stuff. Something I really like to do is just throw my guitar in a different tuning, because the minute I do that, all of the patterns that I've been jamming on don't make sense. They physically don't work. So that's like, just by changing one little peg up here, my entire experience of playing music is different. Now that's obviously a guitar specific thing. A piano one would be only using your left hand. That can open up things real quick, and it can be a little bit frustrating, but in a very good way. It stimulates growth, and then you might find a cool bass line in doing that, over which you can add more things. That's often, I tried that recently with another little instrumental ditty I've been working on, where it started just with a little kind of bass line. It just goes, nope, see, I don't even know it. That's okay. So, okay, I like that. Let's add some chords. Then I want a melody. And then you get to make a song. But it can't happen until you start with just something small, something simple. That started by saying, okay, can I use just one finger? Can I just make a little bass line, a little feeling, a little groove, and then build from there, right? If you're a lyricist, or if you want to freestyle, you want to come up with different things, just tell your friend to say, hey, like, give me an adjective, give me a word, and then just go for it, right? Or, pick something in the dictionary, just point to a word and start trying to make sense of it. Just throw stuff out there. Giving yourself arbitrary considerations when you're making music is a great way to start expressing. Now, that said, you need to practice. You need to be refining the specific skills and techniques. I need this hand to go like this and this hand to go like this. They look similar, but they're very different. And so I have to work on each of those hands separately and together. But that's okay. That can be really fun. I really recommend finding practice techniques that you enjoy. Anybody can play. I mean, I missed a note in there, so not anybody can do it, but other people can. Chromatic scales, who needs them? But I like to play things that I enjoy. There's this little Asterius piece that classical guitarists love, that I just love for the right hand. It does this. I really like playing that, and so it incentivizes me to do it more. I think that's a really important thing for just giving yourself little kernels of inspiration and encouragement as you're moving through and trying to develop the fine motor skills that playing music often requires. So making time for that practice and practicing different things really, really helps. Look at little drum patterns. Just see if you can just do weird stuff, right? See if you can hold a beat, beatbox while playing guitar. That works too, right? So invent these games for yourself. Practice doesn't have to be static or stagnant, because music is not those things, and so your practice shouldn't be either. So that can be fun. Yeah, that's where the arbitrary nature of input and stimulation works very well with practice, is that you can kind of combine them and just come up with your own random fun flavors. I promise you'll enjoy it more, and enjoying it is the best way to get better at music. That means that the last thing you need with inspiration is permission. You need permission to enjoy yourself. You need permission to take the time to work on this stuff, knowing that it's healthy, it's important for you. And letting yourself experience that is pretty much the only way you're going to make progress. Because if you spend the whole time sitting there with your guitar, your instrument, whatever it is, and you're just, the whole time you're playing, you're just thinking, like, I really should be doing other stuff. I'm really avoiding things right now. I mean, this isn't even good. Why am I doing this? Who am I? What's the point of anything? You can see how very quickly that becomes just unproductive and helpful, and it takes you away from what's important. So allowing yourself to be with the music when you're playing music. If you spend all your time analyzing it and thinking, oh, am I doing this right? Am I playing as well as other people? Am I spending my time effectively? You're kind of missing the point. You're missing the catharsis and the release that music offers you. So be kind to yourself when you sit down with the instrument. You have to give yourself permission to play it, and you have to give yourself permission to learn. That's what you're doing. You will never be done learning music. That's what's so awesome about it. If you've ever beaten a video game entirely, you know how empty and awful that actually feels once you check off every box, open every crate, kill every enemy. It just feels dead. Music will never do that to you, I promise. So because it's a constant learning process, give yourself permission to be learning it. That will always make your experience more enjoyable, which again is the whole reason we do this. That does bring me into the benefits section of this, which I cannot personally describe how much music has changed and benefited my life, and in so many ways it has affected the place I live, the people I'm around, the person I love, everything in my life. It has in some way shaped or altered it. But there are some very direct benefits. The first one is that of expression and release, which, dear God, we all need right now. I mean, I used the word catharsis earlier, but that outlet, that ability to put something out and make something is more valuable than ever right now. So please know that if you are playing any music or even considering playing music during this time, that is the reason to do it. It is to express yourself. It is to give your emotions a sounding board, whatever they may be. That's okay. But to let those come out and to give yourself that space, give yourself that release, because you need it. You're a little stressed out right now. Even if you think you're doing well, you may be doing very well, but life is stressful, especially now. So it's okay. Again, that's just more permission, but it's important. The second hugest benefit to music making is friendship. I see a lot of my friends in this chat right now, and that's wonderful. I think the majority of you I know through music, and certainly I have interacted with music with all of you in some way. I mean, even just by playing earlier, we've done that, right? We've established that connection together, and that's fucking cool. It just makes me so happy to see that constantly improve my life, improve my relationships with people, because it is a form of communication. It's frankly, for me, that's been the hardest part of being stuck in one place and not being able to see people, is that I can't musically communicate with them. You can send things across the internet, and that's definitely better than nothing, but it's not the immediacy. It's not the repartee of actual conversation. And that is so special and so wonderful. And even if we're not getting it right now, it's so worth working on your own playing, because when we get to go back out there in the world, everybody's going to be so excited about making music that we're all just going to have this big, awesome party. And it's just, I cannot express how excited I am for all of that. So please join me in that. It's going to be wonderful. And know that it's going to improve all of your relationships. When you play music with somebody, it bonds you to them like nothing else in the world. And it's very vulnerable and intimate and totally badass. So highly recommended there. In addition to all that stimulation, it provides relaxation, which is critical right now. It's a lot like release, but really it's just that being able to sit back and say, you know, I'm just going to play that chord, and that's going to be enough for me right now. And maybe I'll play that one. And then that is incredibly relaxing for me. That that's why I do a lot of it. That's why I don't come off as nearly as high-strung or anxious as I often feel, is because I'm doing this constantly. This is ventilation. This is important. So give yourself that. And the last most important thing, I know I've said they're all important, but that's because they are. So deal with it, is growth. Growing is really what happiness is for us. We like to feel like we're progressing, like we're improving, like we're making some kind of mark. And music, like I said, it never stops. You're never gonna beat it. You're never gonna get tired of it. It just keeps going. So allow yourself that ability to expand, because right now we really, really need it. A lot of other areas in our lives have basically stopped growing. Whatever we were working on, it's on hold. But this does not have to be. This will be with you forever. So let it be. With all that said, it's a lot of words, it's a lot of thoughts, it's a lot of knowledge. If anyone has particular questions at this point, anything that they've been curious about, or maybe they've been struggling with, that they've been working on with regard to their musicianship in this strange situation, you're more than welcome to speak up. You can unmute yourself and pose a question, and I'll just sort of sit here and noodle a minute because that's really fun for me. So please feel free to pose whatever you like, or you can just listen to me do this. So thank you so much for joining me here. This has been really exciting. I love talking about this. I love playing music even more than I love talking about it, which I didn't think was possible either. What I want you to take away from this is just, it's okay. It's really okay. Music will always be there, and it will always make things more okay. No matter how difficult they are. That's why it's so important. That's why we've had it for thousands of years, and why we will continue to have it for, as long as humans are around, which hopefully is at least a little while longer. just to prove kind of the point of how much this really can't hurt you, even if you're just experimenting, even if you're just playing around. I'll make up a little song for you. And I don't usually make up lyrics, but you know, again, the point is that this only gives to you. It's not gonna hurt you. It's going to be an important part of your life, just like y'all are to me. So thanks for taking this time. It's good to see you standing there across the air. I know you hear me. It's nice to know that we're not in this alone. We're all doing fine, not great, but we're fine. It's good to see you. I miss you more than I can say, but we see each other anyway. It's nice to know that we've found time to play the music on our minds. I hope that we won't mind. We've just found the time. It's good to see you. I know the time won't slip away when I can see you, and we'll find more time to play. Huge thanks to all of you for being here, taking a little time out of your Friday, because days of the week still matter, technically, sort of. Just to be with me, just to be with the music. It's really all we can do. Huge thanks to Slackline US and for Michelle for bringing us all together and putting this on, and teaching people about one of the most important things in my life, in yours too, and everybody's. I really mean it when I keep singing. It's good to see you. Someday soon we'll meet face to face. It's good to see you, 'cause I know that we can replay all the space between our minds. My name is Adam Baerd. I love you very much. Oh, it's nice to all of you waving and, oh man, see this, it's really good to see you. I really just, dear Lord. So thanks for being a part of all of this with me. This has been exciting. I hope that you've taken away some musical ideas, some inspiration, different parts and pieces that you can play with on your own to make this confusing time a little less confusing and maybe a little more wonderful. So Thanks to all of you for being here. We'll see you next time. Maybe out in the world, maybe here, but maybe out in the world. Wouldn't that be great? Eventually, I will hug each and every one of you.
Thank you everyone so much for coming. Before we leave, we have 3 minutes before this ends. If you want to put your email in the chat box, you can change the messaging from everyone to just me personally, and I can put you on the Slackline US email list. Also, Adam, if you have any further resources, we'll send those out with the email when we post the YouTube video. So also, if you want to get all the links to the YouTube videos too, just give me your email on the Slackline US list. But Adam, if you want to put your email and website here on the chat box, so just so everyone has it right now, just in case they have any questions or need some musical inspiration, if you feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, that is a great idea, Michelle. By the way, everyone, this is Michelle. She's the one who's put all this together for all of us. So what you've experienced is thanks to her. So thank you, Michelle.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll put my information here. So if any of you have questions, thoughts, comments, or you're just feeling lonely, as we all are a little bit, just feel free to reach out. All that kind of stuff. We'll send you music, we'll send you cool things, and yes, do send Michelle your email, because you will all be happier for having more Slack life in your life. Music and slacklining are really all just about controlling and enjoying the vibration of strings. So just put that in your life. It's totally badass. I'm gonna type my stuff here. What is my email? I really should know this. It's that, and then my website is here, www.adambaerd.com. That's Baerd. Doesn't make any sense because I made it up, but I like it that way. Yeah, so that's kind of all we have. And what I'll do is this will be fun. I'll just play us out. So if anyone has any thoughts or chats, feel free to leave them there. And then we've got less than a minute on the Zoom call, so we'll get this last little thing. Thank you, everybody. Hello. Cool, easy enough. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. Let's do something cute and happy. Hey, everybody. Oh, it's good to see you.
I'm actually
well, that works out, doesn't